More importantly, it is game day for the IUP Crimson Hawks. Mr. Jack Benedict is on the line with us. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people, all the way from Evansville. Here's Jack. Hi, Jack.
Hey, don't say that on the plane. Thank you, Todd. Good morning, everybody. Beautiful morning here in Evansville. We have about 45 degrees, blue sky, sunshine. I understand western Pennsylvania has snow on the way.
Now, on the way, but it's a beautiful day here today as well.
Good.
A great day for basketball. Of course, the Crimson Hawks, with the win the other night, had the day off yesterday to prepare for tonight. Augusta sounds like a heck of a challenge, Jack.
Well, it is a challenge. They're in the final poll of the coaches' poll. They ended up number 5. They've been here before. They've been here like 4 other times. They've got a 7-foot center. How about that?
Yeah.
His name is Tyshawn Crawford. When the coach, I talked with the coach, Coach Dip will be with me on the pregame. He said the young man came in at 315 pounds. They trimmed him down to 265. And I'll tell you what, if you were growing up in my era and you watched Bill Russell, I'm not comparing him to Bill Russell, don't get me wrong, but Bill Russell was 6'10" then. This kid is 7 feet. They have the same body frame, and they're both southpaws. It's really kind of scary. But, he had a double-double, and he's a great player. But they're one of their guards from Puerto Rico, San Juan. Miguel Arnold had a career day. He only averages like 14 a game. He had 33 against Chico State. So, you're down to the Final Four here. It could go either way. We got to make a foul shot, though.
Yeah.
0 for 6 the other night. You know what? That's the first time since 1964 that a team in the playoffs here in the quarterfinal did not make a free throw.
And won the game. Wow. Isn't that something else? But, yeah, you're right. Everything has to come together for IUP tonight. They have to play interior defense against a 7'1" guy that knows what he's doing. But they have to play the perimeter, too, because this team shoots the three-pointer like nobody else.
Yeah, they really are good. And that's, obviously. The only thing is they don't have the depth. To me, I saw the other night when I watched the game, and they went overtime with Chico State. I think you only had 9 players dressed, and they only play about 7.
Wow.
Now, IUP goes deeper. It's going to be interesting to see if Coach Joe implements Uzi Diop a little bit, who has not played in the tournament yet. But he's 6'9". I don't think he's 6'10". But, if you need somebody to go in there and bang for a little bit, maybe pick up a foul or two, he might be an option there. I think it's going to boil down to IUP's defense, how well. If the defense can play the way they normally do, they'll be decent. They'll be in good shape, really.
Yeah. You think of the IUP players who probably are going to be under the most pressure tonight. Of course, Armani takes the pressure on himself as the team leader, and we expect that a guy that is in his position would. But Ethan Porterfield is going to be called upon to be big again tonight, and he can be big in the PSAC. He's one of the bigger guys, but against a 7'1" guy, that's going to be a bit of a different challenge for Ethan tonight.
It'll be interesting to see how they play the 7-footer. One of the questions I asked Joe was, and Ronnie Fidella too, the assistant coach, about how about 7-footer? Do you play against a 7-footer? Oh yeah, the All-American Kofi from Illinois in the first game of the year. Although he's 300 pounds and he's on Division I. But it will be interesting. I think too another key will be we got to get some production from Tommy D, and that didn't happen the other night. He's a big guy who could come in there and help out in a variety of ways. So I think that's another key to tonight's game. Yeah,
Tommy D has such a pretty game. It's smooth. There are no herky-jerky motions there with Tommy Dimo-Geronis for IUP. David Morris, everybody has to be there tonight for IUP and Coach Joe Lombardi. Listening to him yesterday sounded like he's, coaches can pull the wool over your eyes a little bit, but he has legitimate concerns with the inexperience of his ball team. Played a lot of young guys with this IUP team.
Oh, it is. In fact, Tommy is the only one who will depart if you forget about the transfer portal. Just think from 1 year to the next. And he's the only one that IUP will lose because he's a grad student. He's out of eligibility. Everybody else we're counting on will be back. And even though Dallas Dillard and Tomawa are true freshmen. They've played a lot of basketball this year in key situations. So I don't really regard them as freshmen anymore.
Yeah.
And I think they'll be fine. Those guys, yeah.
Tomiwa Sulaiman is he's a joy to listen to talk and to watch the enthusiasm with which he plays it. And he's a beast, isn't he?
He is. He really is. And when Joe told me on the pregame a couple of games ago, whenever it was, and then repeated it later, that he was telling one of the network reporters, I guess, he thinks that Tommy may be as good a player, maybe the best defensive player he's ever had here. And he's still learning some, but he's got that natural ability, and he's physical. And then you mentioned the enthusiasm. You roll that up into one. You got a pretty good player there at a very young age. It's just amazing. You have to remind yourself that he is a freshman.
Yeah, it's interesting. You compared body types and everything. The big guy from Augusta with Bill Russell. I look at Tomiwa and I think automatically of Sam Clancy. Because they have that same type of build. Well, Jack, of course, the atmosphere there at the Elite Eight, now the Final Four for IUP, is just charged with all kinds of fun and fans, and I'm sure that you're meeting folks from back this area. So I've asked you this a couple of times already since you got there. Some folks that you've seen for the first time in a while, or the contingent coming from Indiana to IUP or to Evansville. What are some of the names? Drop some names on me this morning.
Well, we have Cheryl Wegener, who's been a great fan for so many years. Her husband, the late Fred, was a big IUP fan. He was in the criminology department at IUP. The Ruddicks are here. Dave Moore and his wife is here. They said, be sure to mention and say hello to my mother, Peggy. She'll be listening to the game. Mm-hmm. We also have... let's see, Jerry Klein and his wife, Phyllis, they've been on the road. They've, come, games. Of course, we talked with President Mike Driscoll the other day. Yeah. And I'm trying to think up in the set. We had about 80 people, I think, and I'm sure there are a few more that have come in to town that we haven't seen yet. Yeah. Jim and Jackie Wiley are here.
Yeah, saw them the other day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the faithful, and I think we have some people who we're planning, all right, if IUP wins today, say, hey, listen, championship game, we're coming down for the game on Saturday. But one game at a time. The other game's going to be interesting. Northwest Missouri State is very good. They have tons of experience, and they've won this championship the last 3 times it's been played. Yeah. They have an All-American who was National Player of the Year last year, Hudgens, and amazingly, in 3 years, he has scored 2,700 points. He's 6 feet tall.
Oh yeah.
Who said little guys can't play?
yeah. That's.
Oh yeah. So, but one thing at a time. Here we got this Augusta team is very good. They played Bowie State. They played Fayetteville State back when, and of course IUP has played both those teams. Yeah,
you look at results from those 2 games. Of course, they won those 2 games. Did it? No real edge that you could think of for IUP.
No, not really. In fact, when IUP played Bowie, and I remember when I was down there, that was I can remember the date. It was November 19th because I knew it was right before Thanksgiving, and that was a different IUP team, no question. Yeah.
All right. So the big question is.
Yeah.
How do you spend the rest of your day when you've got this big game coming up? Got to get your rest, I know.
Oh, I did get rest. Although Matt Berkland stopped over, and Tony and I and Matt, and we all reminisced and spun yarns and stories and whatever till the not wee hours, but it was late. We got some rest last night. I think Tony may be waking up now. I'm not sure. But the rest of the day, well, we're going to prepare to go over and watch the first game, which is our game, which is our time here at 3 o'clock, and then our game here will be at 5:30. So we want to go over. We want to watch the semifinal game and get set up, and we'll be on air an hour before game time. And I've got the Lombardi brothers, Dom and Dante, invited to come over.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they're here, and the Brain Trust was in the room the other day, and I think Tony took a picture of them with Joe and the sons there at the table, and game experience, backgrounds, information, preparation is just unbelievable. It really is.
Yeah, it's something else. Jack Benedict, I want to thank you for spending some time with us, not only today, but all week long as we get ready for tonight's excitement. It is indeed game day. Jack, have a great one.
Well, if we win, you want me back tomorrow, I can do that.
You betcha we do. Let me look at the book here and see what we got.
Sure, see what's in your book.
This same time tomorrow, Jack.
Okay, 9:10 Eastern, 8 time Central.
It is all yours, and let's hope we're talking to you then.
Okay, sounds good, Todd. Everybody have a good day, Major League Day, and we'll see you on the air later today.
All right, there's Jack Benedict from Evansville, Indiana with us today. Airtime for the Sheasley Electric pregame for IUP basketball tonight on 92.5 FM U92. The U92 Sports Channel is 5:30 tip-off at 6:30.